Well, hello, hello. Welcome to Super Soldier Talk. My name is James Rink, and we have a very wonderful guest here today. She's been on our show before, and her name is Lauren. So I'm going to skip trying to pronounce her last name, but it's quite it's quite a beautiful name actually. But all right, so Lauren is a internationally renowned professional psychic medium. She has been studying her craft for over 30 years. With her psychic abilities, she has been able to find missing persons and animals, as well as helped individuals discover their innate intuitive abilities. As well as her psychic skills are so renowned, they have sought after both on and off planet. At the very young age of 3, she had already been pre-selected to serve in multiple capacities in several secret space programs. She vividly remembers serving in Solar Warden under the name of Leslie Roberts and made it to the rank of Admiral. After returning from her service off-world, she is still being sought after by various individuals in a multitude of different fields and arenas. Her repertoire of VIP clients includes celebrities, scientists, as well as people in public service, maybe even some world leaders. She is sought after for her expertise and insight in the realm of future casting. She has also done extensive timeline analysis for the past decade, as well as projections of the future of where she sees humanity going. So, her aim has always been to help humanity reach their full potential to the stars and beyond. She is honored to be alive at this crucial period of time in human history and is honored to be one of the many guests coming forward and coming forward on Super Solar Talk, as well as serving humanity for the common good of all. So, if you can want to reach out to Lauren, she is doing readings, and I know you have a what is it like a donations based service, so whatever, yeah. But so well, how are you doing today, Lauren?
I'm fine, thank you, James. Thanks for inviting me on again. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. um so I just wanted to say thank you, audience members, for joining us as well. And this show is going to be a little impromptu. I know we do have one message I wanted to share, definitely, but primarily we're going to talk about the conference that's coming up, and then we can go into what you actually remember about Solar Warden, because we did a session on that earlier. I'm going to locate that. But Lauren, why don't you tell us a little bit about this conference that we're putting up together in July?
Okay, well, I think that it's very momentous and it's been like a long time coming. It's something that you wanted to do for a very, very long time. And I think it's really, really important, especially now, given with what's going on with disclosure. There's going to be a lot of speakers there that are going to be speaking on a multitude of very important topics, bringing forward their testimonies on what's really important. So I highly encourage people to go because it's going to be amazing.
Very good. So let's pull this up here for all those who haven't seen it and do this again. So hold on, guys. We're gonna get here. Okay. There we go. Can you see that? I think you probably can.
I can.
Okay. So we have this timeline of disclosure event and soul healing fair. So I've already said this story a couple of times. I think I'll do it one more. I'll do it again for those of you who haven't listened. So this is going to be review for those of you out there who haven't heard about this. But I started this event back in December. The actual name probably originated in November, timeline disclosure. But I was inspired to put on this event after being banned from another conference in which I was unfairly treated by the host of that event. And that host has actually recently contacted me because it is my belief that her ex died under foul play, and she denied doing anything. But I think there Actually, you guys can see me better. But it's only just speculations and rumors. But I wanted to create a platform where we could put together people who I believe have more morals and integrity. And so initially, I was working with some other individuals who um, wanted to create an event that had a price tag that was not conducive to a lot of the people in the SSP community, the pricing. So we set different paths, and that's why I created 2 events this year. But this is the one that has my approval on it, and it's going to take place in Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. So that's just south of Clearwater. We recommend that the closest airport is St. Pete, but you can fly into Tampa too. Tampa is probably a 40-minute drive to Tampa Airport. But yeah, so we're going to be doing this at the Holiday Inn for Thursday, Friday night, and well, not Friday night, but Friday around 4. And then we might have something fun planned for you Friday. But Saturday is a soul healing fair that's going to take place across the street at the Indian Rocks Beach Museum area. And we're going to have some free dance classes for you, a yoga class, and we're going to have I got rid of the paywall, so it's free. We're going to have some of our SSP experience speakers that you see here on this screenshot will be speaking. And we'll also have some vendors for you. We're working on trying to take care of the temperature climate control. So we'll have some areas there to take care of that for the heat there. But it is under a giant live oak tree. And for vendors who want to participate, we do have areas there for you to have your booth and not be out there in the sweltering heat. Just go to the link, timelinedisclosure.com. There's actually a link there to click on vendors. Also, we need volunteers. Hi, Libby. Thanks for coming on here. Ronnie, much love to light to you, Ronnie. Thanks for joining us. So many, Mike. Yes, we're both doing quite well. And despite all that's taking place. So let's see here. Saturday. Yeah, so come on out for the Soul Healing Fair. And where should we take this next, Lauren? Maybe I should talk about each person.
If you like, there's so much to talk about. My goodness, there's a lot.
So we do have VIP tickets available. So they are on sale to the Platinum is on sale to July 4th. If you want to keep, we have like a bronze ticket where you don't get food, but we hope you join us for breakfast and lunch that Friday. And then on Sunday, the July 4th, we're going to have a little fun gathering together, have a little birthday celebration for 14 years of Super Soldier Talk. And I would love for you all to come out and join us. So that one, you need the VIP ticket to be part of our group. But I'm going to be speaking on the Secret Space program. I find that we'll see. I have 2 slots I'm speaking, so I might do my more advanced presentation for the VIPs. But Lauren and I will be over there at the park, the Chickasee Park, on Saturday. So we'll see her. Linda is going to be VIP only. She has to leave for Saturday. I believe Raw is speaking too Saturday, both VIP, the Thursday, Friday. Thomas, I think he's there Saturday. Of course, Lauren, we have you scheduled to communicate with dolphins, but that's not the only thing you can do because you're also an SSP experiencer. So be looking forward to hearing what you have to say about that. And of course, Oksana, she served in Nachtwaffen, and Sue Mount, she says that she's a super soldier. But I do know she was used as a monarch, and she'll be sharing her experiences. Well, so let's go down here. Here's some more information about the event and timelineofdisclosure.com. So we know if you won't tell them the truth, we will. So join us as we have this journey into the Secret Space program with your fellow comrades. And we'll love to see you out there on the beach out there. And yeah, it's going to be, I believe it's going to be loads of fun. And I've always felt like disclosure should be a celebration where we can all get together, feel loved and appreciated. Lauren, we can barely see you. We can move the camera. Oh, there we go. Much better. And, so what do you think about all that, Lauren?
I absolutely agree with you. I mean, disclosure is definitely going to have to come from grassroots primarily. I think it always has. I know that there's other elements and organizations that are, trying to help in ways that they can. I like to believe that, but when everyone comes forward and always tells the truth first and foremost, I think that's what's most important. So as long as people keep their sights set on that, I think that we will get true disclosure. So,
Oh, guys, I didn't talk about Raw Cloud or Dylan. Raw Cloud's a Navy super soldier, so he's been on these space platforms where extraterrestrials are supposed to check in before they come to planet Earth. And of course, Dylan is our deep state mapper. So if you go to the deepstatemappingproject.com, there's some downloads there. We have like got to be careful what I say, but these different maps. So it's gonna be great to see Dylan. And we do have a live stream ticket for those of you who just don't want to travel or can't afford it. We also have a donation button too. So we do need some donations to help us out with the dance classes and the Qigong. We'll see if we can do Qigong and maybe a yoga class. And then we also have, if you just want to support Super Soldier Talk, we can put your name on a banner. There's an option for that. You click on the vendor page. We have, of course, VIP tickets, very affordable. So I think they're like $100 for that. And you get like a little tote bag. I'm working on the tote bags. But all right. Okay, let's see here. Anything else on that? Would you want me to go into the letter again, I guess, Lauren?
Sure, if you like.
Okay. So let's see here. Recently a tree fell in my car. So it is my belief that was an attack to impoverish me. So, but despite that, I still gonna go do this event. And the money that I had saved up for the event went to my car, so I actually kind of need your help for donations. I did have collision, but they only gave me 40 cents on the dollar, so it is what it is. But if you appreciate the work of Super Soldier Talk and you believe in the idea that we should have a secret space program conference or a soul healing fair to help, because my 501c3 nonprofit Healing Soul Survivors was founded in 2012 to help individuals with PTSD or bring awareness is really all we're doing. Is I believe people should help themselves. We should make people, give them knowledge and allow them to heal themselves. We can do it with trauma, I believe, through meditation, but it's not the only way you can heal trauma, of course. But, so if you want to make a donation, Healing Soul Survivors, the link's in the description for that too. So, and of course, the funds of that help pay for the project. All right, so Laura, we're going to go back to the beginning when I started off with this idea.
Sure.
I recruited other members of the community because when you put on a conference, you just don't do it by yourself. You need help, and I brought some people in to help me, and one of these individuals became extremely abusive to me, where he would curse at me for an hour for forgetting to put something in. It was a Google Drive. Even though it was already on the website, everything was expected to be put on the Google Drive. At the beginning, I wasn't. There was a little confusion about all that, but I did it again, and then I got cursed at. So what I did is I took this abusive person off our planning committee, and about a week went by, and it was obvious to me some of the other donors didn't want to provide funds now that the first donor was off the project. So I brought together a whole other team of people, and I raised the funds that I needed. However, it was obvious to me that this whole project was costing too much, so I decided to push it to the next year because we only had about 4 months, Lauren. I think back in April.
It was, yeah, it was a very short amount of time that you would have had to do that, and the cost was extreme. I do remember you saying that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we had about 18 speakers at this point, and the event was costing about 80. I think it was 82 or 79,000. And so I made the proposal that we had to cut probably eight of those 10 speakers, and they were all speakers that were expected. They were promised large sum of money that my nonprofit was unable to afford to pay because Super Soldier Talk has always been listener funded. And I've already talked about what happened to PayPal. PayPal stole our account, and Amazon shut down my seller's account. They said I was selling violent products. I had my meditation cubes on there and table runners. So, you know what? And of course, demonetized here on YouTube. And, don't really, I think people have listened to me know that I don't really get on here and ask for money very often. But for this thing, we needed it. So I decided to cut about 8 of the 10 people. And one of them was Penny Bradley. So in all the discussions, in the same conversation, there was discussion about I wanted to also have a balanced event where we have fun activities on the beach. There was discussion of a beach slide. I was also visualizing water slides and water guns and, maybe a tent out there where we could have maybe water balloons or something. So, but the conversation, my words were twisted. And this person said he was threatening me that he was gonna tell Penny Bradley that I wanted to get rid of her for this beach slide, but it was actually a whole group of people, and it wasn't just the beach slide. It was a balanced event that would potentially we could just put a slick and slide. It would not have cost. If I needed, I could have just used my own money. So I reached out to Penny and I talked to her to see if she was committed to the cause, and she said she was. So I didn't have the heart to cut her and really the others. So, but the problem was Penny talked to this other person, and she said that she was spooked, and it was clear to me that I was no longer really in charge because what was going on. So I realized that they're not listening to me. The budget was too high, and we just really needed more time. So I made the decision to push it back. And about a week, the whole team that I put together got together. They had, remember that, Lauren, you were on that call. They had a group intervention where the people that I brought together, had their own call meeting where they decided that they were in charge now, right? They said that they were going to take over, and that's when I resigned from the. So they took over they had my IP. I had a list of about 60 people. I don't know the exact number, maybe 50 people.
It was the list was quite extensive. Yeah, I do remember that.
I've been doing this for 14 years, and over the years, these were people that I respected and believed deserved to have a voice. So they took my list and went after, invited them. So they kept inviting. They added more people. So it went from 18 to ridiculous. Yeah. But the point is, when my listeners found out what happened, some people donated some money. But we did have one individual who loaned us some money, so we do need $4,000 to loan back, and that was actually because of what happened when our original guy, the donor that was abusive, when they set up their own thing behind my back, they wanted to buy my website, my name, timeline of disclosure. I came up with timeline of disclosure because I wanted to have, I always visualized where we would have this event, timeline where everyone would know the truth. It'd be self-evident. So I decided to, because this person promised somebody $2,000 for a website. It wasn't I didn't make that decision. I agreed to it because of they were friends. But when they pulled out, that he wanted his money back that he paid into the website. So I needed to borrow $4,000, and that's why I really need help from listeners to help with that. But and he was also threatening to sue to get his donation back. So he put his funds to help Super Soldier Talk and Timeline of Disclosure, and then he wanted his money back. So we had to pay him back. But then they copied our website, right, Lauren? They copied it. They copied our website. We had the Stargate. It was my idea to create that Stargate as a logo. So.
I do remember that. I remember you showing me sketches and sending them to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, of what you had wanted to do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys, let's see what else happened. So after that, funds were provided, and we set up a smaller event. And then I've always wanted a way to interact with the community, to provide a way for people out there who don't have a lot of money. And I wanted to get rid of the paywall because, Lauren, I don't have a subscriber program. People have asked me to do it. I don't feel comfortable taking. I mean, I guess if you want to donate, you can, but so I got rid of the paywall. I booked the park across the street, and we're getting some climate controlled tents and all that, but we're going to be about 650 feet from the ocean. It's called the Soul Healing Fair, and I think actually initially we were going to go to the Day of Being event, right, Lauren? Before I did all that, so we had a little falling out with that. The person who put on Day of Being was promoting the other conference, and then they advised us to not say anything bad about them. And then what else, Lauren? They told us? Like, do you remember?
That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
They have their event, we had ours, and it was actually the other event was ours too. But
yeah.
What else? They said that we're ruining people's fun by all this discussion. And then they were promoting.
If you had even polled your audience, like you had even asked your supporters what you think, you wanted their input of like what you should do, and all of your supporters were unanimous in that you should keep exposing the truth, because that's what disclosure is all about, and that's absolutely what you stood for this entire time too. So like they were encouraging you to just stick true to yourself and what you knew was right, which you've always done, and you had tremendous, and you still have tremendous support from like your supporters, because you've presented this information, like you said, like you've never had a paywall, which is absolutely really phenomenal, and it's actually very rare. It's very rare that a person of like your caliber, that's world class, it's so amazing, that's been dedicated for so long, that will keep saying all that information to bring more knowledge to the people. And it's all about education, which is like really, really important. So the fact that you've done that is amazing. In fact, I don't know if you know this, James, but I actually was always encouraged, and I still look up to you for the fact that you've always been, you've kept that model to make it accessible for everyone. And I also work by the same model too. I also teach for free, so I think that's amazing.
Yeah, right. So I was told that we're ruining people's fun, and the listeners of Super Soldier Talk said that knowing the truth it's not about having fun, it's about knowing the truth, right? So we were going to there was concern about people breaking out on fights on the beach because the other person was supporting the other conference and they weren't supporting us, and it was obvious that they were out against us. So I wanted the secret space program people to feel loved and appreciated, and so that's why I decided to just go away from that Day of Being. If you want to go to Day of Being, we hope you would come to the Soul Healing Fair first, and then you could go over there. But and it's a free beach thing. But there were some other issues too, like I don't know, Lauren, should we talk about it with the the turtles? You remember that?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
You're not
Yes,
supposed
it's
to really be
because
on the
yeah,
beach.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they nest there, and they really need like nice and peace and quiet, and yeah, that type of thing, which is understandable. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
we had
Well,
to move it over. Mm-hmm. I should have
yeah,
spoken to the girls actually. Now that I
there
think
was
of
some
it.
issue about that. So we decided just if you want to go to the beach, by all means. But we hope you come to Soul Healing.
Mhm.
And then let's see here, what else? Yeah, a lot of my other colleagues the other person went after my colleagues and kept invited them, and he had more money than we could possibly offer, so they went with the other person, and then I was gaslit. Remember that, Lauren? When even like
Yes,
I don't
to
really
a degree that I have not witnessed before. Yeah, it was extreme, and it came from a multitude of different individuals.
yeah. And there was discussion about that we were ruining other people's livelihoods. I don't really want to be the one to ruin their livelihood, but I think they're ruining disclosure, right? Because they were supposed to support us, so they were ruining our livelihood. But I guess maybe
You,
they were.
I do know that you've been a force for good for disclosure, and you've helped make so many connections, and you've helped bring so many people together, and those you've also helped people come forward when they may have been shy or anxious. You've been extraordinarily supportive, and then those people have in turn educated and given their testimony. So if anything, you've helped disclosure pretty much more than anyone that I can really think of, because of your capacity to work well with others, and because you're always putting others' needs first, and as well as the truth first above anything else. So I think that's amazing, and you should be commended for it.
Thank you. All right. So we had our split, and then let's see here. Let's go on. I'm just scanning this letter here. I need to go through all these details. We are okay. So yeah, so come and join us July 11th to 14th at Indian Rocks Beach, Florida. We have VIP tickets for Thursday and Friday. We'll probably have like a VIP sitting area on that Saturday because we're going to have more speakers Saturday too. You're going to learn about the secret space program, what's truly going on in the universe. I know I put aliens and UFOs, but they're not UFOs. We know what they are. They're just not being told. They don't want you to know that there is an issue where humans are being sent off world to be used as a product. So
Yeah.
a lot of governments in the world don't want to tell you because they benefited from that secrecy. So you are the
Yeah.
product. And okay, let's see here. Anything else we need to go over? There is parking available. If you buy a VIP ticket, you'll have free parking for the Thursday, Friday, and I was told Saturday too for the Soul Healing Fair at the Holiday Inn. If there is a beach shuttle, supposedly it's free or tip based. You can click on the website. TimelineDisclosure.com does have that information. Let's see here. We're gonna have we need intuitives, people can do Reiki, healers. So if you can do that kind of thing, just message me. We have like a sliding sales scale for the sales, the vendor sales. But we are looking for other vendors. If you need like electrical hookup, message us and we can try to get you in that climate controlled area. But we also have, let's see here. So come Saturday, July 3rd, 13th at 12 p.m. noon. And we ask that you bring some of your own chairs and blankets, or if you want to sit down, we do near the gazebo area. But I actually just bring your chairs. Yeah. And then let's see here. There won't be food options there, but there are many restaurants within walking distance nearby, and there is limited street parking. First come, first serve. Let's see here. Afterwards, Sunday, you can join us for our VIP party. Let's see. Go on. Okay. I've been doing this for 14 years because I want people to be educated on the secret space program topic in the manner that it deserves. I've done this by allowing everyone to have access to this knowledge without a paywall at expense to myself, and I've done so in a respectful, non-judgmental manner which actually kind of did get me in trouble a couple of times. I don't like to judge people. I like to just put the information out there and allow people to share. But some people have taken advantage of my kindness. But thankfully, it doesn't happen that often. But I do believe that the disclosure topic should be handled in such a way that we should all just share information and learn and not judge. So, unless, well, I guess you can judge eventually if you don't think it's true. We actually encourage you to do that. But okay, additionally, you can buy a VIP ticket to our event to show your support. You can also donate. Timeline disclosure allows you to donate. You can become a vendor. We do need volunteers. So if you want to help us out on that, we could use some help with a photographer. If you want to help us out with registration, security, also prepping the site. Okay, guys. Doing this work has been very fulfilling, and I need your help to continue to do so. So thanks, everyone. I will see you in Florida this July. That's my message. Okay. Lauren, do you want to go over what, or did you have a comment? Final word?
I think that your work, having decided what you did all those years ago when you attended the other conference, and you figured out that there needs to be a lot more attention on the SSP programs topic. Now, because of what you did all those years ago, there are so many people worldwide that actually know that they're SSP veterans, and they wouldn't have come upon that had it not been for you. So there's a lot of unknown and unnamed veterans that would have remained that way had you not done what you did. So I think that all the SSP veterans owe you a great bit of thank you.
Okay. Well, there's somebody in the chat that probably, I don't know. It's probably not even worth discussing. If you want to know about the individual in the chat, just say yes, you want to know, and I'll tell you. All right. So we have, so recently this other person put out a video that, let's see here. I have my notes over here somewhere. What I think they were describing me as a narcissist. Narcissists exaggerate their own smarts, success, powers, and looks. They lack empathy. You know what? It's actually kind of interesting because narcissists actually accuse other people what they are. They lash out when they feel like they're not getting special treatment. They tend to be very thin-skinned. Underneath all these traits is a deep sense of insecurity. Narcissists find it super difficult to have healthy relationships and loads of trouble. Let's see here.
Are you reading a comment that's currently in the chat right now?
Everybody wants to know about this Rocco guy. Okay. Do you want to know about it too, Lauren? Fine, I'll tell you. All right, so Rocco contacted me years ago for help recovering some of his memories in the Montauk Project. So in my sessions with him, which were complimentary, we were unable to get any information from my personal perspective. However, I did share some of my own experiences, and this Rocco started going on interviews and telling the interviewer that what I remember happened to him. So he told my friend that he wanted to destroy me in his really good New York accent. That Long Island accent. But yeah, he was discussing that he wanted to. He had like a foot fetish of my friend, and that something about he did discuss. There was some footage of a picture of him with a gun, and he said something about James Rink. So it's clear he was very unstable. And when my friend Laurine Fenton interviewed him, he went under a pen name. So what I did is I got the article from the Long Island newspaper, which showed that he was breaking into people's homes to steal money for his meth addiction. And at that point, yeah, I think he did go away. But it's my belief, according to my friend, she's a Native American She contacts her guides. She said that Rocco did not serve in the Montauk Project. However, he was a soldier, a camp hero in World War II. So, Rocco, that's what I have on you. You need to do some healing work on yourself. I got a message. Some I don't remember this person's name, but he said that Rocco had invited like 4 other Montauk program experiencers to live in his house, and that he was like created some kind of cult, and he had like he was using mind control to get information on other experiencers. And this person asked me for help, and I told him that you need to use your own intuition and really think for yourself, guys. So, but yeah, that's my message about him. Lauren, what do you think?
Good gracious. That sounds like a troubled individual.
Yeah.
Like you should have assessed if he was really...
do some healing work on yourself, okay? Thank you. Love and light to you. Let's go on. What do you say? Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Recently in this video, there was another individual. Should I say her name? You know, the dolphin one that was talking smack. You know, I guess I don't know. Bartolini. So Veronica has come on the show a couple times. She recently asked me to purge all her interviews. So I obliged. I only delete interviews when the other person, and when it's my belief the other person lied or they're crazy. So, but yeah, so we were doing other sessions together, and I was donating my time. Half the information was for herself, and some of it were for projects or for things that we worked together on, like the whole project and the Dolphin Super Soldier project. So I recommended her to come to David Saeed's event, and because I believe she was a good person. And I even offered her money to go there. She declined the request, but recently in the video, she claimed that it was Penny who invited her to come, which I know it was. I personally talked to David Saeed, and he asked me, do you have a list of people? And I mentioned it was her. So there's no way. I mean, maybe Penny encouraged her to come. It's great, Penny. Thank you for encouraging her to come. I always believe we should all be able to share our opinions. But she presented in such a way to trash my reputation. So of course that probably explains why she's not on this platform. But she actually did. She did take out my interviews and post it on her channel, which I think is great. But I think the way she treated me was disrespectful. Let's see here. Let's go on here. Should we talk about? I'm not going to go on that. Do you want to talk? I don't really like talking bad about other people, even though they probably deserve. Okay. I'm going on here. Okay. Hey, Lauren, I'm going to go try to find the notes. So why don't you say something while I go find the other cheat sheet that we came up with? Let's go ahead.
Sure. Oh my goodness. There's so much to do. Okay. Well, I can talk to pretty much any everyone in general, but perhaps even specifically the SSP veterans. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that struggle with recall. In fact, I myself, having been up there for, oh my goodness, ages and ages, just like a lot of people that know that they're veterans, people know that it's extraordinarily difficult for recall, and these programs are set up as such that recall is almost impossible. That's why, the best people can get sometimes is bleed through memory, sometimes flashes come back. It can happen at any time, even very inopportune times. And it can be extraordinarily frustrating. So, but what I can say is there's certain techniques and tips that really help people. And James, you came up with like the absolute best one, is actually hearing other people's testimony. And, that can actually help a lot because it just helps people make sense of their experience, and just hearing other people, it actually can validate the very memories, the fragmented memories that they have. They're like, hey, wait a minute, that's like something else that I remember happened to me. So that's absolutely phenomenal. And I can just speak to those of you that might actually be struggling with recall. Just know first and foremost that that's the way that these programs were set up. It's extraordinarily unfortunate. A lot of them they're pretty much across the board extraordinarily bad, but that you're not alone. And one of the best ways to get recall is actually to listen to other people's testimonies. Another one is write down your dreams. A lot of the times people, what I have found, and I'm speaking generally, if you want to know if you were involved and under what capacity and in which program, a lot of people are, they have certain aversions to maybe what they were doing up there. Like if they did it a lot, like let's say if they were an interrogator, it can go either way, especially if it was with Solar Warden. If you interrogated galactic criminals and you were in the interrogation room and you under, all kinds of different things that you may have been doing up there, you might either have an aversion to that, like either like CSI type shows, or you might actually be very, attracted to it. A lot of the times too, the jobs that you may have had up there, you will want to recreate it down here, almost like your soul is trying to, give you, a little bit of checkpoints to try and actually get you to remember. So there's little tidbits like that that I found that actually are really extraordinarily relevant that can actually help with recall. So look for attractions with things. Like if you're really, obsessed about planes or space travel, it could be medicine. There's a lot of people that may have been medics up there. There's a great need for people that were doctors up there, like all the time. People that are obsessed with martial arts, again, could have been super soldier for under any capacity. So there's lots of different things like that that can be helpful, because I know a lot of people want more than anything is they want to remember their own experiences too, and they want to know why they were up there and under what capacity and why these programs are going on still.
Wow, thank you for that, Lauren. So do you want to talk about we did a session about Solar Warden. You want to talk about what you saw?
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I have tremendous recall from being up there. Like it's quite extensive. I'm not sure. I can say, let's just say I'll speak to it generally, because I mean that I can go like really deep, but generally it is thought that Solar Warden is, it's all good, and it's, just really just that. But I have memories to the contrary. I have quite a bit of memories to the contrary. In fact, I remember people not being paid a lot of the times where for those of you who might not know, there is a credit system up there that's part of the galactic commerce trade, but pretty much everything up there functions on a credit system. And a lot of the people that were in service had basically credit cards that you had to go and like pay for, like you had to go to the cafeteria to get food and pay for things. Well, a lot of the people that were in active service were not getting paid on time. And I remember while I was up there on ship that like people were sharing their credits just so that they could eat. I remember people being abused and like worked just like way beyond the past point of exhaustion. And I also personally remember, I have a specific memory of having taken a transport and parked it near the moon. And I was watching the space traffic, and I was lamenting with another person that I was serving with, just I couldn't wait to get out of there. Just because, we were worked like extensively, not always paid on time. I saw a lot of abuse going on as well with the people that were up there. So people that think that it's all, just fine and dandy all the time, it's not my experience. That's just a small part of it that I remember. Mm-hmm.
Can you please tell people what happened on this particular vessel? There was a med bed, right? So this was back in the early 80s or mid 80s, in the early Solar Warden program. They had med beds on board, but to use them, you had to have these coins, right? And some people were not getting healed because they weren't providing enough tokens.
I do remember. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna start having memory flood. But I do remember that people were. There was this one particular mission that they went in, and a lot of people were had too much radiation. Like there was something with the environment, and they came back and they were basically irradiated. It was horrible. and we couldn't heal them. And in fact, our main ship was actually working with other ones, and we were trying to, you know, get enough so that we could actually put them in the med bay and actually get healed, because they're literally dying, just like of organ failure, and just like it was a complete and utter. I mean, it really was a gong show, like slash. I'm not gonna say the other words, but yeah, it was just horrendous. There are other people that were just basically there to be, like, say, grunt workers and that type of thing. They were allowed to sleep like 4-hour shifts. They were worked like really, really like to death. I remember one incident when I was in the mess hall, and I was currently, I was a scientist at the time, and I was like designated to go work on, you know, another DNA type project. And I had seen a person just basically collapse in the hall, and I went to go and attend to them, and I was told, you know, to step back and just kind of like leave them there. And I got in trouble for trying to, I still intervened. I got in trouble. I didn't really care because I cared more about the person, obviously. But yeah, I mean, like up there, it was very segregated in terms of classes as well. You know, certain classes had access to better food, better medical than other ones. The other ones that didn't have that, they were just basically like left to just deal with whatever, you know, and they didn't really have much. So I do remember a lot of people in Solar in particular that were trying to work together. A lot of the soldiers, like they were doing everything that they could to try and protect one another and try and share resources. So that's the type of thing that we were going through, on top of the fact that the missions that we were going on were extraordinarily dangerous, volatile. We were probably going to get some part of us blown up. I remember having to be put in the regen tank, pretty much like, you know, you had to read a brief through the regen tank glass, when like you were just had your head like basically split open, and like they're still asking you to work when you're basically not in full parts yet, but they're still, you know, wanting you to give an assessment of what just happened. I do remember being told too that we were during our briefs that we were to watch the equipment, to not try and get, you know, shot at or blown up, because they're going to lose money and all this stuff. So I mean, we were graded on everything. It had to be quick, fast, perfect. If we made any mistakes, we would, you know, get in trouble for it. We always tried our best, but like they treated us like equipment basically. And like if we got injured, they saw it as an inconvenience to them, you know, that type of thing. So like I said, I have a lot of recall, and it's not all, you know, really rosy from being up there. So yeah, that's just part of it.
Okay, Lauren. So Solar Warden, of course, that was the U.S. Navy's secret space program, the Space Navy.
Yeah.
And we were told that, of course, the Nazis, well, actually, they're not really Nazis, they're Germans. The Germans went in outer space, and the Americans wanted to have their own project version to respond to it. So, but you're basically describing that essentially, from your experience in Solar Warden, it was just crap. Just yeah.
It was not as perfect as people would think it to be. No, yeah. There were a lot of issues that put people in danger. Yes, and that just treated them really poorly. Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
Can you discuss why did they restrict? First of all, why do you think they put tokens on there? I mean, they have free energy, right? They didn't need to have tokens to run all the technology.
I don't remember why they. I can't for the life of me remember what that was.
Was it to prevent a mutiny?
I do remember everything was extraordinarily monitored. I mean, it was just unreal. I mean, like the thought monitoring tech was also used on us all the time. I mean, and everything was like measured and weighted, and just we were under very strict, I guess, restrictions. Basically, we had a lot of restrictions. I remember that when I needed a break. I do remember that people would buy shore leave. They would actually save up credits to just go take a break, just take a transport and go, you know, for a weekend somewhere to just get away from all the craziness. I do remember that. I do remember too being an interrogator in Solar and arresting galactic criminals and having to use extreme interrogation techniques to try and figure out, you know, what the aliens had stolen and where the people were, and just like I mean, so that element
stopping galactic criminals, that was really important and phenomenal to protect the solar system and even beyond that. There's other elements that were extreme and just like really like, you know, if for us, that was very heavy and like just crazy. So yeah, that's what I can say about that. And we used to monitor the other ships like coming and flying by ours and that type of thing. And we weren't always told everything either about like what was going on with the other, actions.
So you had a CO that was arranging for more credits to be, I guess, from their own personal account to help out the other members of the crew because people were starving. And do you know why there was actual restriction? And whatever happened to your the CO when they got caught?
Whatever. I'm sorry. What? Please. Whatever happened to the CO's what?
Yeah, the one in charge of the ship that was bringing all these credits. Did they get caught?
Well, do you want me to whatever happened to him?
Yeah.
Like, well, he got in trouble for trying to help out, and he was sent away, and I'm fairly certain that he was mind wiped because he was extraordinarily rebellious in a good way and always trying to protect people. And he was actually trying to protect his crew and also not just his crew but his friends. He was basically sent off and given very, very severe mind wipe treatment because of what he was doing, even though it actually was the right thing because he was saving his friends.
Yeah, and I think they transferred me onto another ship that got captured by the Draco intentionally, and then they sent me to the Draco sent me to a prison where they transfer you back in time to like a dinosaur world, or you're in a caveman times, and they want you to spend 5,000 years in the past. So that's how they can torture you. There's some things worse than death. But you know, that's why we're going to have a space alliance in the future, and we're going to kick some butt. But first things first, let's document these experiences, Lauren. Let's see if we can get a PowerPoint presentation put together. And I know you're also going to be channeling the dolphins. So because I know, guys, I'm kind of like dashing over the topics. We actually I think we're running out of time, right, Lauren? It's almost time.
And you're at 53 and 20 seconds right now.
Can you give us a short message from the dolphins?
Oh my goodness. Okay, sure. I can. I was actually talking to whales the other day, so. And I do want to say, cetaceans are extraordinarily telepathic. Like, oh my goodness, if any of you ever go out like on a boat for like a whale watching tour or anything like that, if you actually sit in meditation beforehand and like you send out a hello of like, please come and visit us and say hi, they absolutely, for the most part, will oblige because cetaceans absolutely, they love humanity like so much. So, and they're absolutely so sweet. So yeah, I can see what they're up to. Let me just see.
Hopefully it's going to be more than que sera, sera.
I can just see what they generally have a message for humanity, like what they're gonna say right now. Okay. They would appreciate it if humanity prayed for their well-being because their numbers are dwindling, and there's lots of radiation, unfortunately, still that's just like everywhere, and it's impacting them. And they say to pray for the planet's health as well, because they're tremendously affected with the electromagnetic field of the planet and also the planet's health. And that they love humanity. They're sending tremendous love to them. They're extremely sweet.
Can we ask some questions for audience members, or how much time?
Absolutely can ask the whales questions, and I will be in charge. As per usual.
187 HO scale steel mill modeling wants to know about the missing children being rescued from underground. Well, I guess they're not missing, are they? Or maybe they're missing from our surface. So, do you know? Do the dolphins have any information about these underground bases, the children, and what's what's going on with their rescue
I
missions.
can speak to that. I can speak to that if you want me to. Like in general, or would you? It depends which. Would you like the?
Just give us the generality.
Okay, let me just see. Well, I do know that Solar Warden does routinely stop freighter ships that are headed to other sectors of space that actually have in their cargo, unfortunately, humans to be sold for various purposes. And that there are people that are stopping that, and they're trying to track that as much as possible. I do know that.
Could the Dolphins provide us any details, like how many people per year might be being taken off world as a slave?
I actually, in fact, did you know, James, not to, discount the dolphins or the cetaceans. In fact, I found this out years ago. The planet actually knows who gets taken off world, because what happens is when a person is born on this planet and they're Terran, they share DNA with all the life forms on the planet. So the planet being sentient, she's aware of every person that gets stolen off her, and she sees every human as one of her children. I found this out about 3 or 4 years ago when I was in Sedona, and I was just constantly, I would connect to the planet consciousness all the time and share messages and all that stuff. Incidentally, the planet is very well aware of like everyone that's on, here right now. But she was showing me that she was aware that people were being taken, and every time a person like leaves world against her free will and consent, she sees it as if one of her children is being stolen. So she would definitely be a being that would definitely know about how many. I could ask her if you'd like. If any of the audience actually want to know how to do that as well, you have only to sit in meditation in nature when you're walking around barefoot, and you'll just naturally connect to the consciousness of the planet, and you can ask her all kinds of questions, and she will absolutely let you know. In fact, a lot of the native people used to get information by doing the same thing. It's oh good gracious. It's in the millions, James, per year that are taken off world against their free will and consent. That's what she just told me. In fact, the planet could tell you every individual. Like I said, she's aware of everything and everyone that's going on. And that's how she feels about it.
According to Johann Fritz, he says that there's 1 million people being taken off world every year, and about 0.01% are utilized as slaves. But maybe they all are.
The planet is saying millions. Yeah.
So there are some species that want humans, and there has a med bed unit, a food replicator, and of course a regen tank, so that way the slave could be utilized off world and just be kept as a slave. They can also take out the higher functioning parts of the brain. So.
That's a question that I see a lot too. Like people want to know like why the programs exist and like what happens to those people like once they leave. Some people are put back eventually. Sometimes like the SSP veterans, and in fact even sometimes normal civilians, they will just pick up civilians randomly, especially during the time of expansion. Between like the 40s and 60s, especially, they were just picking up people from field, like just random people that they thought they could get away with. And I actually have memories of on the other side of like I've seen other people make fun of the fact that they had picked those people up and just like use them for whatever purpose. A lot of the malevolent extraterrestrial races as well consider housing a human as a pet. They see it as some type of like trophy, or like how we would see a cat, or like well, even we see animal friends as our friends and our family. But some of these aliens are so crazy and so psychotic that they will literally try and buy a human and then just house it somewhere in a cage, and then they'll keep it in their transport or on their homeworld and as some type of like showcase item, which is completely insane. But I've also seen that too.
So there's probably
Unfortunately.
intergalactic zoos with humans in it.
There actually is. Yeah.
Well,
That's why
we're
the
gonna,
slave
well,
trade. Mhm.
in the future, we're gonna have a space alliance, and we're gonna kick some butt. But right now, uh, uh, this modeling person here wants to know about the children maybe under the Getty. Do you have any information, Lauren? About I know you do because we actually did a report on the Getty.
We did.
I know. I'm going to work on getting that released. I got a bunch of videos. So I even have a video I did from the Montauk tour last August. So there's a lot I got to get out. But first things first. So I think we were, what you were seeing, Lauren, is that the facility under the Getty has not been cleared out.
Yeah, no, it hadn't. And that was as recent as, I think it was like 2 or 3 months ago. I had seen that and I had taken a really good look, and I mean, it was still extraordinarily active. To your audience, I highly encourage people to become remote viewers, because that's one thing that is very key when a person can become a remote viewer, which is basically getting information from another event or time space, and then just having that in your mind. You can actually verify accounts that anyone is hearing anywhere, and you can verify for yourself if so and so is being cleared out, or are these malevolent extraterrestrials still in the neighborhood? Is this, and the other thing happening? However, I have to say and mention that if you are going to remote view a what's considered a hot target, you are most likely might get attacked, or most likely will get attacked by either malevolent extraterrestrial or directed energy weapon. So if you're going to do that, to just do so extraordinarily carefully, and you have to be trained. You have to be a trained remote viewer in order to do those things. But that's one thing that people can do as well. But my assessment and account is, I did another galactic kind of sweep through very recently in the past 2 weeks. And what I can say, and this is up to the minute, is that there's a lot of malevolent extraterrestrial races that are currently vying for positions still on the planet. They are all just angry at one another. They're under the false illusion that they have, claim or territory here on this planet, when they in fact have none. And they're just, still acting like a bunch of crazies. So there's a lot of malevolent extraterrestrials that are still around. There's still abductions going on. It's still very hostile. We absolutely can make it to an organic timeline where humanity is spacefaring and everything's fine, and all the galactic criminals are in a giant jail where they belong. But it's going to be extraordinarily rough getting there, unfortunately, and that's my own professional opinion.
Thank you. How about this? So I'll get the Getty report put up, and you'll find out all the details. We don't have time into it, but you want to comment about ACIO? And I know they've been attacking a few people recently. Did you see that? You want me to read it to you? I'll tell you.
Sure. Okay. I did. Did you want me to comment on that, Dave?
If you want to. So it does appear Penny really is an experiencer. So
that's correct. Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
Well, I did talk to Jessica, and what was being suggested is that, according to Peter anyway, Peter was unhappy about some of the falsehoods Penny was promoting. But I think it might be a little bit extreme, though, to say that she's a scam. But what's your thoughts on that, Lauren? You're able to scam people.
Well, she is time displaced, and it is my opinion that yes, she is an SSP veteran. That is my professional opinion. And I myself, being an SSP veteran and having spent, I am remiss to actually divulge the amount of hundreds of years that I've been up there. But yeah, I did check myself, and it's of my opinion that she is a veteran. Yes.
Okay, so I guess when it comes to these platforms, the social media, it's always best to just try to err on the safe side. I mean, even if somebody is maybe incorrect, it's not a good idea to just, my opinion, attack them just it's always good to just share information and just let people decide. So, all right. Well, Penny, I love you. I think you need a big hug to help cure some of your grumpiness. You know, she blocked me recently, but it is what it is. So I do wish her the best. We have Danny and the cyborg. We don't. I think Lauren, you need to go. Probably.
No, I don't need to go. I'm good for another 2 hours.
Oh. Well, I guess. Well, if we have any more questions, let's see here.
I enter what I refer to as teacher mode, which is my education mode. So like, yeah, it's always fun.
What about these orbs? Do you have any information what an orb is?
Yes. I mean, it depends which type. More very what?
Like an orange colored one, beach ball.
Okay. Well, I mean, it really depends. I mean, some can be interdimensional. A lot of the light beings actually travel that way as well. The fourth density beings, they're basically they've become another type of life form, and that's their mode of transportation. So there also fairies can appear as that as well. So it really depends which kind, which type, where are you seeing it, where is it coming out of a portal? I mean, if it's coming out of a lower dimensional portal, you might want to call a shaman like right away. So yeah, it really depends on circumstance. Where is it being seen? What color? At what time? What was an event that may have happened just before seeing it? Because a lot of the times, if you're praying or you're in meditation and like you're just, you know, having a good time and like you're really high vibe and stuff, a lot of the times you can attract higher density beings that just want to come say hi to you. So, but I mean, if you happen to be walking around somewhere where there may have been a lot of black magic, or like, you know, maybe the ley lines are messed up or some other weird stuff has happened, and then you see another type of orb, I mean, it really depends, and you just kind of get like a weird feeling that then you're dealing with something else. So it just really depends.
Well, Corey said that they were attacked with a blackish brown orb.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that could be a type of entity attack. Yeah. In fact, they do attack more at night. People are a lot more vulnerable at night, especially if you're sick. That can make demonic possession or entity possession a lot more likely. So if any of you have issues with that or concerns, it's very important to keep your space very, very tidy. You can, I highly recommend that people sage a lot. It is a spiritual war that's going on right now that is absolutely insane. I've been doing spiritual work and a spiritual counselor for over 35 years. And what's going on right now is absolutely crazy. There's lots of psychic attacks and entity and demonic attacks, in fact. So if any people that are dealing with that right now, you are not alone. I highly recommend that people just sage their space a lot, keep it like really, really, you know, feng shuied. They can call in their benevolent ancestors, reach out to a psychic medium that you know has a very good reputation if you really feel like you need help, because sometimes if you're being attacked like that in your sleep, they might actually be trying to possess you. So you don't want to be possessed by one of these entities. They can cause tremendous damage to your physical body as well as your brain, because what they actually try and do is actually they want to host. They actually want to take over you, and they want to live inside your body. So that can cause organ failure or death in very severe cases. So if anyone is ever dealing with that, I highly recommend that you seek out a psychic medium right away and an exorcist to help you out with that. So another thing you can do before to make sure you're not targeted in your sleep, or if you're being targeted in your sleep, just say prayers and intentions before you sleep. Make sure that you're saging everywhere and that you're taking care of yourself, and that will make it less likely for you to get possessed.
Okay, so this is Table Rock in North Carolina near the Linville Gorge. There's a phenomenon called the Brown Mountain Lights. So I'll just show you some pictures that I took back in 2017. So that's Table Rock. Let's go. You can see out the Morganton and Hickory in the distance there. You know, I got some pictures. That's a really bad picture. I'll see. We've got some good ones in here. But essentially, when I saw this orb, it was in the valley. There's my friend John. Let me see if I find a better picture. So I saw these orbs in the valley there, and they were spinning around a tree. They were like maybe 7 or 8 of them in a white or blue color, and they're spinning in a circle. And some of them can be seen in the tree. So I was just wondering, do you have any information on that? What this phenomenon could have been, the Brown Mountain Lights?
Let me see.
Because it's not the only place in the world. There's other places in the world that have this same phenomenon. Go ahead.
Some are discarnate spirits, James. That's what I was picking up. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So maybe not Native American. Maybe they could be alien spirits, maybe, or they are.
In some cases, yes. James, I am so sorry. I unfortunately have to go shortly.
Look at that.
James.
Okay.
That is very crazy.
Somebody's banging on the door. Well, just take my word for it. There's something down there. So there you go.
I believe you. I believe you. We should do another remote viewing session on it if you want.
Okay. I will be also speaking August 1st to the 4th in Old Fort, North Carolina. It actually is pretty close to Brown Mountain Lights. If you want to come to North Carolina, the link is in the description. But yeah, but please come to my conference first. So no preference. Anyway, I love you all. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you all in July. The timeline and disclosure. See you then. Please consider supporting Super Soldier Talk by purchasing your own Neo Meditation device. Your Neo Meditation device will help you reduce stress, integrate trauma, enhance intuition, enhance clairvoyance, and enhance creativity. Get yours now at www.neologicaltech.com.